So I went back and watched the Cecilia Braekhus Reis fight, and it was a competitive fight, but it wasn't as close as I thought it was the first time. I definitely felt like Braekhus had more than she could handle this time when Reis would let her hands go. And if Reis had started a little bit stronger, I probably would have given her the fight. But besides a knockdown and a few strong rounds in the later half of the fight, I really couldn't give her the whole fight. I think that Cecilia Braekhus, like I said, she had her hands full, but at the same time, the competitive rounds that Reis was giving her, she was still edging those rounds out. Braekhus, she started off cautious, but she really picked it up with a lot of busy punches. Nothing really to get the respect of Reis, but there was a few shots that Reis landed in round one that had me thinking, okay, Reis might make this fight interesting. She was landing some really nice, solid shots compared to Braekhus, her more her busy hands, where she was just kind of touching Reis. That's why I just felt like she landed some really good stiff right hands that that were really landing on the chin of Cecilia Braekhus, but at the same time, she wasn't landing enough of them. Reis, she really wasn't applying enough pressure to keep Braekhus from moving in and out early, in that early half of the fight, like the first 5 rounds. Whereas Braekhus, she just stuck to her game plan, stayed busy, just kept pot shotting from the outside. And the number one thing was she was being first. And that's how she won the first half, with just the smart boxing. Well, second half of the fight is where Reis started to come on strong, and Braekhus, she started to slow down. When Reis let her jab go, she started to get more reaction out of Cecilia Braekhus. Braekhus was definitely in there with a harder puncher than what I expected, and Reis really needed to kind of capitalize off of that, because on the contrary side, Reis was able to walk through most of Braekhus' punches. Braekhus was, like I said, she was landing a high percent of the punches, but she really wasn't getting that respect out of Reis. That's why when Reis would let her hands go, she was able to just kind of walk through Braekhus' punches. Like in round 7, that was where Reis really came on strong and was able to land that nice right hand on the chin that put Braekhus down. I know she probably felt it wasn't a knockdown, but she definitely had to hold. On to the rope to keep from falling, and that counts as a knockdown. Here, Reis started to change the pace and started letting more power shots go, but she didn't throw enough jabs to offset Braekhus. She really wasn't trying to throw her rhythm off enough, so Braekhus just kept staying busy even in the 8th round. But Reis, like I said, when she lets her hands go, she was able to land another solid right hand that did buckle the champion at the end of the round 8. The championship rounds, round 9, 10, they were pretty close, but I felt Braekhus still feel that she did enough she still did enough smart boxing to grab the last round, and I felt she won 7 of the 10 rounds of the whole fight. Reis, she definitely gave Braekhus some new looks, but the first half of the fight, they were too far in between, and I think Braekhus did sweep the first half. I think this fight did earn Reis a rematch. It was a good chess match and a good punching match at times for Reis, and Reis, to me, she proved to be the better puncher when she let her hands go, and I think that when she goes back and watches the tape of this fight, she'll kind of pick up more on Braekhus' rhythm, and next time she goes in there, she might make it a much tougher fight this go around. But I usually feel accuracy. I really feel that it beats activity, but to convince with accuracy, you still have to land a fair amount of punches and do damage. Otherwise, the activity is still going to win. If you're not doing enough to offset somebody's volume of punches, that person is still going to win the fight. Like if you land like 6, 7, 8 punches compared to your 2 punches, you still got to give it to the volume puncher, unless the accurate puncher is landing like 3 or 4 shots that are really hard and busting your face up, then I'll give it to the accurate puncher. But otherwise, if the busy fighter is just keeping you from throwing anything, I have to give it to the busy fighter, whether they're landing hard shots or not. But after watching this fight, I really feel like Cecilia Braekhus, she might want to take on like the smaller weighted fighters who are moving up, or just staying within this range, because if she steps up to anyone like Claressa Shields, she's not going to be as nice, and she's definitely not as slow a starter. Once she hurts her, I think she'll have her out of there, but good fight from both ladies. Reis, she definitely raised the stock in the division, and we'll have other ladies on watch. And Braekhus, she might be forced to do it again.